Chapter 3. Dirty on the outside. Wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. It doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again. Come, come. Rumi, come, whoever you are. About a week after Thanksgiving, I am in Breckenridge at the main bus terminal when I see a familiar face. It is Blake, my friend from jail. He has been out for a couple of days and plans on heading back to San Diego tomorrow. Better yet, I can come with him if I want. No more snow, no more cold, and no more long johns, Blake tells me. I ask him how we will get there, and he speaks the words which I will come to live by for the next few years. We'll figure it out as we go, he says nonchalantly, even shrugging his shoulders ever so slightly like it was the most obvious thing in the world. We ride the county bus to the Bivvy, a hostel that Blake has been staying at since being released from jail, all the while imagining what life will be like in sunny San Diego where the waves never stop rolling. It has taken me over 24 years of living before ever seeing snow, and after being ankle deep in it for the past few weeks, I think I have had my fill. I sit down in a comfy chair beside the fireplace in the Bivvy's community room and take a nap. When I awake, it is dark outside, and Blake is having a heated conversation with somebody on the phone. He hangs up and looks at me, defeat etched into every line of his face. Well, I won't be heading to San Diego anytime soon, he says forlornly. Apparently, there is a bench warrant out for his arrest here in Colorado, and he plans on turning himself in. I am able to sympathize with him, however, my mind is made up. Tomorrow, I will begin my journey to San Diego. Morning awakens me, and I jump out of bed, full of optimism and starry-eyed wonder. Prior to going to sleep last night, I spent several hours formulating a plan on how I am going to travel to San Diego, and now I am eager to put it into action. I wish Blake good luck and thank him for helping me manifest the next chapter of my life. Then, after grabbing my pack and a cardboard sign reading California Bound in big bold letters, I walk out the front door of the Bivvy and head to the westbound interstate on-ramp. Dropping my pack at my feet, I turn around and face oncoming traffic with the sign held in my left hand and my right arm extended, thumb pointed toward the sky and the universal sign for hitchhiking. I flash my most disarming smile at every driver who passes me. Snow is falling fairly quickly, and within an hour it is what the locals would call a whiteout. I am very cold, my arm is very sore from extending it for so long, and I keep having to knock all of the snow off of my pack so that it doesn't get buried. This is definitely not going how I envisioned it. After giving it another 30 minutes, I decide to head to Starbucks for some hot cocoa and a new game plan. Besides, the snow is falling so heavily now that I cannot even see the drivers' faces behind their windshields. In the comfort of the warm coffee shop, I connect to Wi-Fi and browse through the rideshare section of Craigslist. The third most recent post jumps out at me. Nebraska to San Diego. I click the hyperlink and read the post. Leaving Nebraska and heading to San Diego this week, stopping Colorado and Vegas, willing to pick up riders who can help with gas. My heart skips a beat. This could very well be my ride. I begin to compose an email immediately. Hello, my name is Kairo, and I am currently in Summit County, Colorado, trying desperately to exchange the snow for sand and sunshine. I have $25 to my name, and it is all yours if you are able and willing to pick me up. Thank you kindly. I press send and offer up a silent prayer to the universe. 10 minutes later, my phone vibrates, and I hold my breath while reading. Greetings, Kairo. I will be passing through Summit tomorrow morning. Meet me at Starbucks around 9 a.m. I almost can't believe it. Sunny San Diego, here I come. Passing through El Cajon 2 days later, my gracious rideshare host asks me where I would like to be dropped off in San Diego. This being my first time ever in the state of California, I actually have no freaking idea. Downtown, I guess? The driver, Faith, looks sideways at me. I know where to bring you, she tells me. You'll fit in perfectly. 20 minutes later, we turn off Newport Avenue and pull over in front of the Ocean Beach Hotel. I grab my pack out of the trunk and look around. A huge, leaning Christmas tree, complete with golden star and ornaments, is planted on the beach in front of the Pacific Ocean, and it seems like at least 1 in every 5 people I see has a travel pack like mine. Good luck, Faith tells me before driving off. I walk to a thigh-high seawall separating the parking lot from the sand and take off my ski jacket, which is definitely no longer needed. I stuff it into my pack and look out at the waves rolling in, realizing I am literally at the edge of America. White sand and sunbathers are everywhere I look. I sit down on the wall and close my eyes, enjoying the comforting warmth of the sun on my skin. Are you a dirty kid? I open my eyes and smile at the 2 people who have sat down next to me. What's a dirty kid? I ask, bewildered. You know, responds a young man wearing a vest covered in sewn-on patches. A traveler, vagabond, rambling man, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I guess I am a dirty kid, I say, not yet realizing that there's an entire subculture of travelers in the country that I have unwittingly been born into. I'm Rooster, the dirty kid who I've been speaking to says, taking a puff off a joint before passing it to me. This stuff goes fully legal here next month. I inhale the cannabis smoke, hold it in, and pass it back. Thanks, I say, the smoke within my lungs turning my voice into a raspy croak. Rooster introduces me to his road dog, Travis. They're from North Carolina and are here in Ocean Beach while waiting for the coordinates of the Black Sheep Christmas gathering to be dropped. What is Black Sheep, I ask. Travis looks at me and says, you know, the rainbow gathering? Now I'm even more confused, and it is written all over my face as I grab the proffered joint from Rooster again. Geez, kid, you've never heard of rainbow? How long have you been on the road? Technically 6 months, I say, but most of that time was spent in jail in Colorado. We've got ourselves a greenhorn. Travis and Rooster exchange a knowing look, and then Rooster says, stick with us, kid. We'll show you the ropes. Ocean Beach seems to be some sort of dirty kid paradise, or at least it does during this time of year. My new friends attribute it to the fact that the Black Sheep Christmas gathering is rumored to be in SoCal this year. Therefore, many travelers have come here awaiting the day when the exact location will be announced. Everywhere we go, there is something fun and exciting going on, and every single day, more and more travelers are arriving by the vanful. My new friends are true to their word. They show me the ropes and impart some valuable information to me about what being a dirty kid is all about. Never leave your pack unattended, Travis is telling me, really warming up to his new role of mentor. Tweakers will steal your shit faster than you could say Mississippi half-step uptown Toodaloo. Family, you won't have to worry about, Rooster joins in. We are all we've got out here, and we take care of one another. Family. The word brings back painful memories. The Rainbow family of living light, Travis tells me, has been around since the 70s. All of the travelers in town right now are a part of our family, whether they realize it or not. Yeah, but we aren't blood family, obviously, Rooster again. We all know how shitty blood families can be. That's why there's Black Sheep. It's for all of us who don't have blood families to spend the holidays with. We spend the holidays with each other, and that's the way it should be. On Wednesday, we go to a music program at a local church specifically for homeless youth, ages 16 to 24. Attend this program 6 times and we will give you a free instrument of your choice, one of the volunteers tells us. I decide to learn how to play mandolin and am put in a group with 5 other dirty kids, all of whom I see are holding their instruments lovingly. Alright guys, the instructor tells us, today we will be learning how to play Ripple, which I know is a song by a band that a lot of you travelers love. Everybody except for me starts to cheer. I have no idea who sings Ripple. We practice the opening chords individually and collectively for about an hour, and then it is dinner time. All of the instruments are turned in, violins, ukuleles, hand drums, even a fiddle, and about 20 dirty kids crowd into the main hall for dinner. Looking at this group of black sheep, I am delighted to be considered a part of this family. This is one badass group of people. Face tattoos, bandanas, patchwork jackets, and dogs. Lots and lots of extremely well-behaved dogs. But despite the hardcore appearance, these are some of the most genuine and kind-hearted folks I have ever met. Once dinner is finished, one of the dirty kids is awarded an instrument since this is his 6th class. He chooses a guitar and gives the instructor a bear hug. "No more spanging for me," he tells us, grinning triumphantly. "What is spanging?" I whisper to Rooster, who was sitting across the table from me. He explains that spange is a portmanteau created by pairing spare and change. When you spange someone, he tells me, you are essentially asking that person to help you out in some way, not even necessarily for money all the time. He continues to explain that since the kid now has a guitar, he can earn his money by busking, which is playing music for tips. Once music class ends, there is a mass exodus of dirty kids and their furry companions from the church back to the beach. "Want to eat some LSD?" Rooster asks me and Travis. "Fuck yes," Travis replies. They look at me awaiting my response, and then it dawns on them. "Oh shit, you've never dosed before?" I explained to them that growing up in the South, LSD was never around, or if it was, only in select circles. Also, I have only ever heard horror stories about the drug, like how people fry their minds after taking it. Travis convinces me that none of the stories I have heard about LSD are true, and that LSD, or love, as he calls it, is a gift from the gods sent to expand human consciousness. And that is exactly why Uncle Sam has classified it a Schedule I narcotic, Rooster concludes. He pulls out 3 tiny paper squares with a picture of a baby angel on them. These are cherubs, and they are magical. He distributes the paper between us, and we each eat our square. I can slightly taste something metallic, and then the taste is gone completely. I suck on the paper for about 30 minutes, and then chew it up and swallow it. "We're going on a trip," Travis says excitedly, and high-fives me. California is already everything I'd hoped it would be, and then some. My first ever psychedelic experience is incredible. The substance has imbued me with a sensation I can only describe as euphoric love. I feel a connection to all living beings, and I consciously comprehend that the earth itself is also alive, a living, breathing organism of which I am grateful to be walking upon. I look up at the moon, not quite full, suspended beautifully in the evening sky. Palm trees stretch toward the heavens, the tops of the trunks and fronds seeming to frame lovely Luna as if she were a football, perfectly splitting the uprights of a field goal post. The color of the sky surrounding the moon is changing in rapid succession. Green, yellow, pink, blue, green, yellow, pink, blue. Vibrant pastels from the supreme architect's palette. Rooster, Travis, and I walk to Travis's Ford Taurus. As we all arrive at our respective doors, we spontaneously and simultaneously break out in an air guitar concert. We are in sync, all playing as members of the same band. One mind, one accord. Then we all start making the sound effects for our instruments. Meow, meow, meow. Our guitars are all meowing in this very moment, and I am whole. On Christmas Eve, we head east, into the Mojave Desert for the Black Sheep Gathering. After driving for 2 hours through the dry and barren wilderness, we turn onto a dirt road riddled with potholes and rocks. Desert shrubs and Joshua trees are the only vegetation for miles around. To the west, the Sierra Nevada mountain range separates us from the Pacific. We round a bend, and there in the distance, we see what we have been searching for. Rock stacks. The only sign of humanity we have encountered in at least an hour. The rock stacks point the way to the gathering site. We continue slowly down the road, 10 miles per hour or less to avoid kicking up dust and bouncing through the potholes until we round a hill, and in a clearing not even 100 yards ahead of us, RVs, buses, and camper vans galore. Rooster whoops with delight and yells, "Welcome home, boys." We park next to a school bus with beautiful murals painted on either side of it, grab our bags, and head into the brush. There has to be at least 100 people here already, setting up their camps or walking around greeting one another. Rooster drops his bag in a clearing and disappears, looking for people he hasn't seen since the previous year's Black Sheep Gathering. Travis and I set up camp, erecting a 4-person tent and stringing up tarps on paracord to block some of the violent wind. The wind is relentless. blowing ferociously this way, kicking up dust and pebbles, only to reverse on itself, doubling in intensity, threatening to uproot everything that isn't firmly staken down. We place all of our gear in the tent and then head out to meet the family who is here so far. The first major camp we come across is a kitchen called Tea Time. Apparently, Tea Time Kitchen always has tea available, hot and fresh, of course. Just bring your cup and someone will happily pour you some. There is also bean tea available upon request, and a table set up with creamer, sugar, honey, everything you could want to enhance the flavor of your coffee or tea. Travis and I hurry back to our tent and grab our bliss, the term used here to refer to cups and spoons, which is something we would be foolish to ever leave camp without again, and head back to Tea Time Kitchen for some bean tea. After finishing our cups of joe and socializing with the wonderful people of Tea Time, we head back to the parking lot in search of the trade circle that is rumored to be around here somewhere. It is a pretty long walk to the parking lot from Tea Time, probably half a mile, with no discernible trails or boundary markers. We pass our campsite, ensuring to grab our tradables, and Rooster joins back up with us, excited about the possibility of acquiring a new harmonica at the trade circle. He then navigates us back to the parking lot like an experienced desert dweller. We spot maybe 20 people sitting on the ground in front of an RV and then head on over. Travis and Rooster set up shop in the dirt, laying out their tradables in front of them while I walk around the perimeter of the circle, browsing through people's wares. Up for grabs are belt knives, headlamps, patches, shiny rocks laid out on blankets, tarot decks, torches, brand new socks, and numerous collections of hat pins. I sit down next to Travis and a girl named Disarray and pull the items I brought to trade out of my bag. A brand new tarp and a pair of thick winter gloves. I don't expect much fanfare over my tradables, but my gloves are gone in 5 minutes, traded for a chunk of raw amethyst, and the tarp, shortly thereafter, traded for a small bag of bubble hash. What a score. As the sun sets, we make our way toward the sound of music which is coming from the direction of a raging bonfire that lights up the desert in a hellacious glow. We squeeze into open spaces around the fire, and Rooster pulls out his newly traded for harmonica and adds his own music to the guitars and hand drums filling the night. People dance around the flames, cackling madly, high on life and psilocybin mushrooms. After a couple songs, an announcement is made. Bring your bliss, dinner is ready. A line is formed and vegan chili is ladled into everyone's cup or bowl, with plenty left over if anybody wants a second serving. The chili is hot and delicious, and it warms my belly as I thankfully devour every spoonful. I wash my cup out in the dish pit and say goodnight, heading back to our campsite for some shut-eye. Morning comes, and I am awakened by shouts of, "We've got a cigarette, do you need a cigarette?" I turn over and see Travis at the edge of the tent, pulling his boots on. "That's Nick at Night," he tells me. "They give away cigarettes to whoever needs one. Come on." I scramble to untangle myself from my sleeping bag and put my boots on, running to catch up with Travis, who is heading toward the voice of the Nick at Nighter, who is really on a roll. "Ain't no nation like a donation," he continues his spiel at max volume. Freshly rolled cigarettes lit, we begin the walk to Tea Time for some bean tea when, in the distance, we hear the sound of many voices as one. "Circle! Circle!" I look at Travis, who shrugs his shoulders and says, "Let's go see what that's all about." So we head toward the voices which seem to be emanating from the parking lot. "Circle!" More and more voices are added to the cacophony and now seem to be coming from every direction, including behind us. Must be something important. Rooster emerges from under a tarp with a pretty girl sporting a myriad of face tattoos. Let's hurry up and see what it is. As we reach the parking lot, Rooster points to a green pickup truck with a blue light flashing in the windshield. "Fuck," he exclaims. "It's the fucking feds." We are all standing in a circle as an old head, reminiscent of a psychedelic Gandalf, complete with flowing white beard, tie-dyed t-shirt, and a wizard staff, holding a large white feather, is speaking. Everybody is listening respectfully as he talks. "The feds are trying to shut down our peaceful gathering, folks. They claim that we are in tortoise migratory land. Now, I have been on site since seed camp, and I haven't seen a single tortoise, but that is neither here nor there. The way I see it, we have two options. Option 1, we peacefully resist and continue to gather here, ignoring the threats of arrest. Option 2, we pack up and head to quartzsite to continue this gathering, which is where most of us were heading after here anyway. He looks each of us in the eye and then hands the feather to a woman standing next to him. We have been given 12 hours to vacate the land, she tells us. After 12 hours have expired, reinforcements will be brought in, arrests will be made, and vehicles will be towed off the land. This is all per our friendly neighborhood federale. If we are able to come to a common consensus right now, we can be packed up in Arizona bound in half that time. Everyone in favor of relocation, raise your hand. Hands shoot up and it is obvious what will happen next. The path of least resistance has been chosen. Okay, everybody, let's tear it all down and rebuild it in quartzsite. Everyone disperses among cries of, "Fuck the police!" Travis and Rooster want to go back to the Ocean Beach to pick up some L, so we pack up and head west instead of joining the convoy to quartzsite. 2.5 hours later, we are sitting on the wall where we first met, passing a joint back and forth, discussing rainbow gatherings in general. It is Christmas Day and the community of OB is in a very giving mood. A man bedecked in a Santa hat walks by with a large stack of crisp $5 bills, handing them out to every homeless person and dirty kid in sight. Soon after, a woman walks by carrying a grocery bag filled with canisters of weed, and she does the exact same thing. Travis and Rooster are making plans to head back east after handling their business here and invite me to tag along. Still being a fugitive, though, I do not want to go anywhere near Louisiana, a state they are sure to pass through for the Mardi Gras season. We say our goodbyes, and Rooster takes off his bandana and hands it to me. This is called a skank, kid. Wear it around your neck, and truckers, conductors, and dirty kids will all recognize you for what you are. It's been nice knowing you. See you on the other side. I grab my pack out of the trunk of Travis's car and wave goodbye as the first real friends I've had in a really long time drive away.